Good evening, everyone. Anthony Wall Street Trader, 10:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 7th, 2023. Here to talk about Quant. Before we get into all of that, this isn't financial advice, it's educational. Click the subscribe and the bell, click the thumbs up, share the video. Intraday updates on twitter.com/ Wall Street Tra 12 on the bottom right of the screen. Let's head into it. But before we get into it, let's take a look at a couple things I've been looking at. Number one, UST and Quant were partnered up back in November. This is a big deal. Number one is that UST is a global company. There's a lot of people that work for them. They do a lot of consultancy, a lot of delivery, transformation types of services for other companies, big companies. And the industries they serve are primarily around financial services. Yeah, they have healthcare, retail, other little industries as well, but the big one that Quant's probably mostly interested in is primarily in the banking area. So UST does a lot of that business. They have a whole bunch of clients. They probably have more clients than Quant does. But let's go into why it's important. Number one, what is so great about UST? Well, reading a little further, trying to find out what they do and how they're measured and how they compete. Now, if you looked at this report, and this was a year before the Quant UST partnership. As you can see on the article here, they're talking about UST being named a leader in this Nelson Hall report. They're a research company. Nelson Hall does a lot of research reports on companies and what they do and where they're leaders. So UST is considered a leader in the Nelson Hall report for blockchain in the banking capability market segment. So they're very specific there, which is exactly the sweet spot where Quant can contribute. A couple of other things to note is that according to that same report, the global market for blockchain services stood at $496 million back in 2020, $500 million, and is expected to post a compounded annual growth rate of 53.3% for 5 years into 2025 and probably after that. So let's take a look at the numbers. I did the math. And here we go. 2020 we were 496 million at a 53% compounded annual growth rate. You land up 10 times the amount in 2025 to $4.2 billion dollars, which is fantastic. A lot more money to go around. Well, let's see. Number one, Quant is working with a highly recognized company, UST, that is the leader in blockchain services in the banking world. And I think that's very, very compelling to have as a partner in the spot that you deliver, in the spot that you give the most in terms of where you can contribute the most and, get more adoption. Ideally, Quant wants their product adopted. I think UST could get that for them, and I think UST could stand to benefit because they're getting a product that they know is a proper product and very, 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 very much adopted by other companies as it stands. So, there's a lot of projects out there that a lot of other banks are using Quant, and I think that's going to help them out dramatically. Now let's go straight into the markets. Really, that's what this is. A lot of you come to this channel for. But before we get into that, just know that I look at a couple of things. We all know it already. If you've seen this video before, you've seen this screen a million times. Quant US dollar is equal to the Quant inner strength, which is Quant Bitcoin to Bitcoin. So we look at each chart, Quant US dollar, Quant Bitcoin, Bitcoin USD. And the reason why is because if I can't understand what's going on with USD, or if I want validation, I could at least go to these two underlying pairs to see which direction they go, right? Because each one of these mathematically drive the Quant US dollar, which is on the left. Mathematical equivalence is below. Let's go into Quant US dollar first. Number one, we have a great support line here, really coming back from July 2022. We've just been on an uptrend. Yeah, we had a nice bounce here, and then another one in November, and this was really because of the whole UST um, partnership. So that helped out a lot. Now we have a nice resistance line here. I wouldn't call it nice. I think it would be nice if we could break it. Currently, resistance is right around 114 as of today. This is a descending resistance line, so when you start up here, the numbers are higher. So the resistance line as of December 5th was 131. Right now, it's around 114. A couple of days ago, it was 115, 116. So this resistance line is going down. So we really need to get over it. Once we get over it, we could be in for a good upside to 127, 128, which is this next line of resistance. The other line of resistance above that is at about 153. Now we have a good line of support here. However, if we do start pulling back, we could pull back to 105 and change, 106. I think we could pass this. I think there's too much good news around it. I think January is going to be an overall good month for cryptos. We're already starting to see Bitcoin rally as well. Now, on the inner strength of Quant Bitcoin, we'll zoom into that. Look, we're still on a really good trend. Same thing, similar to US dollar pair, the July 22 handle all the way out to now. We've been doing really well. And I think we're starting to break this area of resistance, which was over here. I think we've broken it. And now we're out here to this longer term resistance line. So we get over this resistance line is 688. We're at 674 right now. That would be another reason why Quant US dollar would make a proper rise up to 127, 128. Now let's go over to Bitcoin. The benchmark is right here. Excuse me. Benchmark's over here on the right. And on the benchmark side, Bitcoin starting to go up. We still have a very long chart pattern here to take a look at. If I look at the 5 year and I pull back, you could see how long this thing's been. It really kind of kicked in over here. We had some resistance, support. We're still kind of support here. It should be green at this point. We haven't broken it, but we are looking really tight here. And a lot of bulls are trying to hold the line on Bitcoin. Now we also have an area of resistance that's coming down all the way from up here from the December 21 highs and when it was around 60 something thousand. Well, let's see how this thing transitions. It should either we make the drop here, we take our medicine, it comes down to 12,000. I don't know that it will. I don't think it will. Not in January. I think January we have I think there's going to be a bull run in January. I think probably somewhere starting in February, mid-Feb, into the middle part of the year. I think we're going to see some pain overall. But, right now it looks pretty healthy to me. It looks a bit, sus around this level, but I still think we're going to start heading up. But we'll see how that lands. Meantime, Bitcoin dominance, nothing to say here other than the fact that it's been sideways for quite some time, and I don't see it letting up. It's probably going to waddle around here for quite a while, back from May of 21 or so. But right now, as it stands, Quant is around 113, 114. We'll see how this thing lands. I'll send out another video tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.